Bomb Squad. So my name is Andrew Hara. I'm a film director. As you can see, there's films behind me. Which ones did I make? Who knows? Maybe Alien. You can't tell. Um, and I'm here with my co-hosts, William Murdoch and Joshua Epps. And we're here. William Murdoch is a music man, so it's perfect that he's on this podcast, as opposed to every other week when he's also on. But it's not as appropriate. So today, on the Bomb Squad, we cover the bombs. We cover movies. We try to look at them differently. And so for the next 2 weeks, we're covering some of 2025's biggest bombs. This week, we're covering Wicked Part 2. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be cool. I didn't check any box office just based on what I think.
Yeah.
So we're covering that Minecraft movie. Did anyone even see that?
Yeah.
No, today we're covering one of the biggest bombs. We're going to decide whether it deserved all of its haterness, if it deserved whatever Josh wrote in his letterbox, or if it deserved a fair rating.
What did Josh write in his letterbox?
I don't know. Nice I just assumed that he was going to hate on it. It was more a comment to our resident hater.
I gave it a heart.
But you come back. Here's a
snippet.
That's a teaser. If you can guess what it is, we'll see you when we come back to cover 2025's biggest bomb. Thank you so much for joining us on the Bomb Squad. Please give a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to support our channel, other than that, the best way to do it right now is to watch our movies. We have the boxing documentary Humble Spirits. We have the Mexploitation thriller Borderland about missing cartel money. Those movies are both on Tubi. Also on Tubi and Screambox, you can watch the zombie drama, The Last Ones, and of course, The Empty Space, a cosmic horror about grief and loneliness. We hope you enjoy those movies. Tell us what you think if you do watch them. And of course, you can always follow my other YouTube page, which is my shorts page, to see some short films, or just join us here. Thank you so much again, and please keep supporting the channel. Okay, let's commercial time in 3, 2. Welcome back, guys. I also want to say that this movie came out this year. I was like, shit, am I recording? I am. Good job, Andrew.
Hello.
This movie came out this year. Real fast, do give us a like and subscribe. I know it says it in the commercial, but it really does help us. We've been building you guys up, so thank you. Maybe we'll even start doing your suggestions. We'll still do Black Coat's Daughter, guy who hasn't commented in 6 months. I haven't forgotten. We'll eventually do it.
That's a good movie, yeah.
But yeah, so today we're covering one of the biggest bombs. We want to do it before the year ends. And there's another reason, but I'll admit it next week when we cover our next movie.
Well, now I want to know.
Well, you'll find out next week when we cover our next movie, which is also going to be a bomb. It's 2 bombs in a row.
Let's do it.
So this movie was not only a critical bomb, it was also a financial bomb. It had a very small budget of $15 million, and it only made $8 million. So it did not even meet its very small budget.
I'm honestly surprised it made $8 million.
I'm surprised that it wasn't the biggest movie of the year. But let's talk about this movie. 2025's, we're covering Hurry Up Tomorrow, the famous movie starring Abel, The Weeknd, Tess Faye. It also stars Jenna Ortega. Someone today said that Jenna Ortega was in the worst movie of the year. And I was like, Death of a Unicorn is not that bad. And also Barry Keoghan, the one miss in the cast, but it's okay. We'll talk about it. It is directed by...
Yeah, he's great.
It's directed by Trey Edward Schultz. It was also written by Schultz. Also, if you don't know who Trey Edward Schultz is, he helped a lot. He did that movie, It Comes at Night, which is about frat guys, I think. He also did that. It Comes at Night. It was a sexual joke. He also did the movie Krisha and the movie Waves. He was a very long time collaborator with a guy named Scott Levinson who did Euphoria, and they had also started to work on Abel's first show, The Idol. And because for some reason this caused a friendship, like they're no longer friends because Scott Levinson, who was the creator of Euphoria and other terrible things, he got mad that he wasn't a part of this because he's like, well, I'm working with Abel on The Idol, and it's 99% of the same thing. I don't know why you're also making a movie about this. and so they're no longer friends, which I think is very funny to lose a lifelong friendship over Hurry Up Tomorrow. But
Yeah.
this was based on an original idea by Abel. He also wrote it. He helped write it along with that other guy Schultz, and
That's
with
crazy
us. I
I'm
know.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
It just seems
it's
so
okay.
different. We'll get into it, but
Yeah, it's very different from his other films. But then, and so yeah, it came off of an original idea by Abel, who lost his voice during his tour, and he's like, let's make a horror movie about this. And so somehow they convinced Jenna Ortega to be in it. It has, and so yeah, it's really a 3-person crew, like our cast. There's not a lot of other people. There's other people, but they're all background or like
yeah.
the
They're
guy
the
who
people that
puts
talk
on,
ever,
yeah.
except for like some voices on a phone. That's it.
And they didn't say, I couldn't find how they filmed this, but I would have to assume they filmed this during Abel's concert. There's a lot of concert scenes. And I'm like, $15 million, there's no, like, if you see this
those
movie,
crowds, like those crowds would cost
Yeah.
$15 million.
I feel like a lot of this was like, how did they keep that budget low? Because I feel like Abel was shooting this on his off sites or off time. But yes, so this movie is about Hurry Up Tomorrow. Is about Abel is playing a fictionalized version of himself called The Weeknd, and he's on tour. He's lost his voice. He's broken up with his girlfriend. He's trying to get her back. And at the same time, congruently, we have Jenna Ortega. She's a fan of Abel. Maybe, I don't know. It's not 100% clear.
She went to a show of his.
She went to a show. Well, and she's also like just
she knows some songs.
She's also blasting his music the entire time.
Yeah.
And so she's left her house and she's trying to find Abel, and then they kind of meet in the middle, and that's really all the movie's about. Their journey together. For half of this movie, they're just like not together. It's just both of them, like their stories. It's like The Departed. When I was watching this movie, I was like, this reminds me exactly of Martin Scorsese's The Departed.
Vibe similar.
It is.
And so
So
that's what it was about. I'll let these guys go first. I feel like this movie, we're not really going to describe the plot. It's like I just said, there's not really a plot. There's not a lot of, it's more of a vibes movie.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to it's going to be more of an open discussion. Next week will be probably more of a plot because it's more of a detective story. But this week, we'll just see how it goes.
Right.
So I'll let these guys go first.
Yeah.
Before I blow their mentalities. What did you guys think of Hurry Up? Why don't you Hurry Up Tomorrow?
Yeah. I mean,
tell me what you thought.
There's no surprise that this was a bomb. Like, this is like not a mainstream movie, like at all.
Right.
And like,
Right.
Yeah.
I honestly thought that like this is going to show me not doing enough research, but I thought Trey Edward Schultz had to have been like a music video director.
Right.
Was
Yeah.
like just I mean if they would have like released this on like a vinyl
Yeah.
as like an extra Blu-ray as like a visual album, I think everybody would have been like, oh wow, that was interesting.
Yeah.
It's like if you try to watch this as like a regular film, it's probably not going to work out for you.
Yeah.
But if you watch this as kind of like a weekend sort of like self-discovery project, it like makes a lot more sense. But like it goes in such crazy ways, and it's like super experimental, and it features a lot of music by Daniel Lowe Payton, who worked a lot with the Safdies and has worked with The Weeknd a lot, and he goes by this other recording artist named One-E-O Tricks Point Never, and he is so good. Like he's so out there and so weird, and I listen to his stuff all the time. And so the visuals with that music, and I threw my headphones on last night when I was watching this at like midnight, like it's pretty wild. It gets crazy, but it's like a story and a script, you know, that's where it's kind of lacking. But as far as just like visual experimentation and a celebration of The Weeknd's music, that's where it really thrives.
Yeah. If you put Charlie XCX in this and released it in 10 parts on YouTube, on their YouTube channel, this would have done numbers.
It kind of, in a weird way, because I've seen it once before, it reminds me of Maestro by Bradley Cooper, where it's like, oh, this is less like a movie and more like a very direct look inside the brain of like The Weeknd. Like how he's like he's like, oh, this is what a movie is to me. It's like, this is just a really long music video. It's like you clearly like think in this way.
Yeah.
The same way that Bradley Cooper has such actor brain, he can't make like a movie. It has to be like an acting reel that's like, 2 hours long. I don't know.
Right.
Right. We're gonna cut out the part where he tries to compare a genius like Abel to Bradley Cooper. So yeah, I will say, yeah, I've seen this movie a whole bunch of times. I think to me, this is one of my favorite movies of the year. But we'll talk about why as we kind of go over it. I think one of the cool things is kind of like you're saying, and I do wonder how much because I like The Weeknd. The Idol made me.
I would like to say that I also really like The Weeknd as well.
I like The Weeknd a lot. I like his vibes. I watch his music video. He's one of the him. He's like the only male artist who's still making music videos. Like all the other pop stars who make real good visual music videos, it's like Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo. But there's not too many guys. Like Drake just stands in front of a wall and then kind of dances. That's like what a music video for Drake. Or he gives away money. He has a lot of I give away money videos.
Right.
And so
but The Weeknd goes for it. The Weeknd is like, let's get weird. As weird as they'll let us go.
Yeah.
Theatricality.
He he had a music video where his head is just bigger, but by like 10%. It's like why would it why is it only bigger a little bit? Yeah, it looked good. And so I do wonder how much of this movie or how much about Abel do you need to know to like kind of even piece together what's going on in this film?
Right, because there's no character introduction, there's no development really. It just goes.
And not only that, but they don't tell you that it's The Weeknd explicitly. They just kind of like, of course he's playing the songs, but like, you know, if you're doing a movie, he's going to be sounding like The Weeknd regardless because he's The Weeknd.
Right. Yeah.
And he's not like, it's always offhand. Like a couple of people will call him The Weeknd or you'll see it on posters and it's almost like a little bit of an afterthought. So it is like, how much am I supposed to be bringing to this character?
Yeah. And
I think that's kind of one of the things that makes it hard to relate to. And especially like, because it starts off and it's like it's Jenna Ortega and she's just in a red room that's like the cover of one of The Weeknd's albums.
Yeah, like an empty house.
Yeah, it's like what's going on here? And then I will say this was after The Idol, and I feel like I said it kind of in the intro, but this movie kind of feels like more coherently what he was trying to go for with The Idol about like what an artist means nowadays. And so it also like The Idol is really bad and this one is better. But yeah, so that's another thing to keep in mind.
So was The Idol kind of like similar? Like was he playing like a fictionalized version of himself?
He wasn't really playing a fictionalized version of himself, but it was like fictionalized version of the industry. And then Lily... Yeah, Lily Rose Depp kind of plays a fictionalized version of The Weeknd. Like her songs are very similar to Weeknd songs.
It's like multiple conflicting ideas. It's almost interesting in how it doesn't work. This movie's definitely more coherent for sure.
Yeah. So this movie starts. The Weeknd's getting ready, and again, like to show you how confusing you are when you start watching this, if you go in blind. The Weeknd's in a robe. He's backstage.
Yeah, it's
Barry,
baby.
Yeah.
Barry Cronenberg
is. Like, did I get the wrong movie?
I'm getting there. You guys are like ruining my surprise.
I know.
God damn. Barry Cronenberg is his manager, and they're boxing, and you're like, is he a boxer? Like, is that what's going on? And then he goes up onto the stage, and then he's not a boxer. He's just The Weeknd singing new Weeknd songs.
Mm-hmm.
And then while that's happening, Jenna Ortega, she's woken up in her house, and it's supposed to be either her childhood house or her real house. They kind of imply that it's supposed to be the house that her and her mom are living in.
That's what I
thought
too.
It's just trash everywhere. Like it's clearly been abandoned because she's setting it on fire.
Yeah.
And like a movie making stuff is that sometimes when you're trying to burn a house, you kind of try to find a condemned house that you can burn so that you don't have to like buy a whole house, build it, and then burn it. I kind of feel like they bought a condemned house and they're like, yeah, that's fine. Just leave all this shit in there. Let's not make it look like a house on the inside.
It's also, and I was trying to figure out where she was because it's like snowing and it's like obviously
it's like
movie,
Montana.
The movie never tells you, but
Montana.
it's like super remote, rural. Yeah.
And then and so she sets the house on fire. She's leaving, and then her mom's like calling on a voicemail. She's like, "Hey, did you just burn our house down? Call me back." It's like you do not have the level of like scaredness that you should that your daughter just burned down your house. Which again,
and the subtlety in this movie is off the charts.
Yeah, because it's also like, and so she goes to a gas station at one point, and she's like, there's a cop that's flying by them, which makes you think that she's wanted for something.
Yeah.
Especially because she's burning her house. She's like acting like a criminal. She goes and steals some gas. Oh, she's stealing gas. That's why she's worried about the cop.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the cop goes inside.
Like during this scene, this is kind of where like I think you're gonna realize whether or not you vibe with this movie, because like she like pulls up and it's like there's like a backlight, not even from the gas station, but from like the restrooms of the gas station, just hitting your face, and it's like every other scene in this looks like a cool music video shot, and at this point you're like, okay, I either like this or I don't, because the rest of the movie is just this.
It is a musical,
Yeah,
it looks really cool, you know.
Yeah, every scene looks beautiful.
And I love the scene where the cop, like, because like the cop pulls up and like she's like looking at him all paranoid, and then like he gets out of his car, but the way he looks at her, he's like wiggling his head, and he's like moving around weird, and then she looks back at him, and then he like wiggles around more, and then just walks inside. And it's like, is he staring at her?
And he goes
Weeknd blasting from her white car.
He goes and he gets donuts, because this movie is very subtle in what it's trying to do.
Oh, I think one thing I wanted to mention too, because whenever they show the Weeknd going out into the concert, like we were talking earlier, like it looks like it's like a full Weeknd concert, and like it's like the crowd is all there. I will say I've never felt like I was a pop star more than like in that scene. Like they really put you in that moment, and it's like the lights are obviously so cool, and like so foggy and weird. Like that was, I've never seen it like that before. That was so great.
And I think that does come with the idea that because they're so like, we're seeing a lot of big things really close up. Like when we're in the Weeknd concert, it's obviously a stadium that's full, but we're like behind the Weeknd, we're in front of the Weeknd, so it feels like we're on stage with the Weeknd. Right. And I think that goes to really kind of it's kind of the thing that I wish that movie with Josh Hartnett, where he plays a serial killer at a concert, that they didn't do enough. Trap, yes. Yeah. Because there was like the whole time they were trying to keep it from his point of view, but then after a while they just kind of stopped doing that, and it kind of ruins the immersion of you being at a concert where it's not your concert. And that's kind of like what this is doing, where it's like, oh, there's people, or like it feels like you're there with him on stage. So I think that's pretty cool.
It really
is. So then like he's at the same time he's like trying to call his ex-girlfriend, who's played by Riley Q. Right, she's the other like kind of character, but she's not in it enough.
We just see her photo.
You see her Riley photo, and then you hear her voicemail.
I think no. Well, he also goes to the club at the beginning, right after the first concert, and he sees her off in the distance, and he's like calling her for a little bit, but then she like turns around. It's literally like 2 seconds. Kind of like, were you just here for like this one scene? Were you just on set? And he's like, hey, you want to be my ex-girlfriend in this movie?
She was like going to a different set.
Because she's like, it's one picture, it's that one shot, which is like 2 seconds, and then it's her voicemail. But yeah, and also he's calling her constantly, and like the calls range from him being like, please, I miss you, like please answer your phone, and then there's like another call where he's like, why aren't you talking to me, why aren't you being with me, why aren't you loving me, why don't you kill me? He's really he's
losing his mind this whole movie.
He's really
this movie
going
starts
through
off on the brink, and it just gets more to the brink the whole time.
We should say that the Weeknd can't act very well, so it's
see, that's the thing. I'm gonna disagree with you, but we'll get to the end once we get there. But yeah, all this stuff is, especially this part at the beginning, this part's really good with the Weeknd. And so eventually and like if you look at the Wikipedia page, it's like 3 paragraphs because there's not a lot of plot that's going on in this movie. So then they go to the second
plot.
They go to the second concert. Jenna Ortega has finally gotten in. How she got tickets or how did she get in, I don't know. She's just there already. She also has like really nice clothes. It's like, you brought concert clothes in your deadbeat house? Like, where was that? Like, did you iron this?
She talked her way past security. She's that, attractive.
They just like looked at her and they're like, yeah, you can come. And so she's at the concert and he's up there and she's crying her eyes out.
No, he's before that. No, before that is when he is like worried about.
Oh, he goes to the doctor.
Yeah. This is his climax of bad.
And the doctor's like, you literally need to like rest. You can't literally do a full concert every night. And then Barry Keoghan's like, nah, you're fine. He's like, come on, bro. Like,
I will say that the thing I really like about Barry Keoghan is that they let him use his like whatever
Regular
accent
voice.
he has.
Yeah,
Like
normal,
Irish or Scottish.
insane Irish voice.
And so
Come on,
it's
bro.
so
We're supposed to get out there, bro.
I know.
Let's go.
Bro, can you see these record shots? It's like I couldn't take this manager seriously. I'd be like, nah, man, you're gonna have to tell someone else.
Him. He's like, you saved my fucking life, bro. Don't you
Yeah.
do that? You saved my life. How can I ever let that go?
He's like, I can't stop loving you.
So intimate, yeah.
Yeah. And they're
actually
always
pretty good
like,
scene.
they're always touching each other. Like, I love
Yeah.
you so much. Like he has his hand on his thing. And so they tell him his voice is gone, but then Barry's like, no, you got to go out. All these people are here for you, which is a very like manager thing.
Yeah.
But he goes up there and he starts to lose his voice. He can't sing. He's like freaking out too. Like, so you don't really know. They tell him that it's based on stress, but he thinks it's something physical. And you don't really even know, honestly, if he's really losing his voice. Because it's the thing where like you never hear him lose his voice. You just hear him stop singing.
Yeah.
And so
it might just be psychosomatic.
It might be like 100% psychosomatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like his voice has like disappeared. It's like his diaphragm like won't let him sing loudly. So it just kind of starts to like squeak, and then he chokes. And the sound they make for his choking sound is like so gross. Like it sounds like his throat like scratches internally somehow.
I do like though, because part of it is because before both shows, his thing is not only does he like box and like work out, but he's just taking like big shots of liquor. It's like that's not helping.
Yeah. Before and after the show, he's liquoring it up. Also, he's always in like gold robes, and he has like a robe guy, which is not really an important detail. But I feel like but he put it in, so I gotta say it.
It's probably just his real robe guy.
That's what I want. I want a guy to just put on my robe all the time. Be like, thank you. Don't you want a girl? No, I want a guy. I want a guy to do it. And so he loses his voice. He runs out and he goes back into his thing, and they're trying to get him to open it up. Oh, there's also a point where
there's the moment where they lock eyes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. As he's losing his voice, they zero in on one another.
Yeah, and Jenna Ortega's just crying still.
Yeah.
I also wanted like the manager to be like, "Hey, I know your voice is getting lost, and because you can't hit any of the high notes, but do you really have any songs where you're hitting high notes, Weeknd? Like, you ain't got no songs that have you doing this, you know?
Don't worry."
And so he goes back to backstage. They're trying to get him to come out, and he kind of sneaks away. And Jenna Ortega, whose name is Amiya, which is like a Japanese Anima, yeah. And it's like a Japanese word for healer, which it's like, all right, Weeknd, we understand. And so she's trying to follow him. She like sneaks backstage. Eventually, she's getting caught. Like the security's like, "Hey, stop!" And they run after her. That's when she runs into the Weeknd, and the Weeknd is like, "Oh, that's all right. She's cool. She's with me."
I mean, and that I will say, we're talking about how there's like not a lot of like characterization in this movie. That is the one characterization part of the Weeknd's character that they're trying to put through. I think is like he's able to demand whatever he wants all the time.
Right.
Like that's like his main personality trait is that he's kind of a little brat, but he's really damaged and misses his ex-girlfriend. But anything he says, anyone has to do.
Yeah.
He doesn't like he's not like a crazy fascist, but like he will do stuff like that. Like he'll tell drivers to go, dude, or like whatever.
Like, get the hell out of here. Yeah. He's not the Monday through Friday. He's the Weeknd.
Exactly.
And so they sneak off into the night, and then it's also very funny because they're like in they're in a cab and they're kind of just talking to each other. And he's like, "Yeah, let's get out of here." He's like asking her about herself, and then they go to like kind of like a Coney Island place. I think it's Pacific Park.
I thought it was supposed to be the Santa Monica Pier.
I think it is the Santa Monica Pier, but I don't know if it's supposed to be the
supposed
Santa Monica Pier. Yeah,
because
they don't really
kind
tell
of in
you.
New York a little bit. But
I thought they were I thought they were trying to be in New York.
That's just so obviously on the thing,
Santa
right? Am I
Monica.
crazy?
Yeah.
You guys been there?
Yeah, we lived in LA for many years.
Yeah, but like, sometimes you live somewhere and you never see the sights.
No, you have to see Santa Monica Pier. Have you been to LA?
I'm saying, like, were you on the roller coaster?
I've been on that roller coaster.
Yeah, like me and William had lives.
Like I lived in El Paso for 20 years. I never went to Western Playland.
Yeah, but were you ever like, hey, did you know UTEP was there? It's like, yeah, it's in the middle of the city. You got to pass by it all the time.
But I never attended a UTEP game.
You didn't go to a UTEP game?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more. I think that's more of a.
Maybe I'm just.
I think that's more of a you problem, Josh.
Yeah. It's a UTEP problem.
Josh is like, I lived in Portland for like 8 years. I haven't even been outside of my house twice. Like I've only go to get the mail one time a year.
Do you ever get rained on in Portland?
Yeah, it's like, wait, Portland has rain?
So you guys were like Abel and Anima on the roller coaster.
And we also we also would run into that robot guy. There's a robot guy that gets a lot of attention. He's like,
yeah.
And they're just spinning the camera around him, and I'm like, oh, are they gonna talk to that guy? Nope. It's not even to establish they're on the pier walk because you don't even really know where they are.
You just know that the Weeknd was like, that guy's so cool.
I know.
Let's linger on him.
I like to also think that that's the Weeknd's robot guy, and he's just like, oh yeah, you can be in this part. We don't want to put you in backstage with me because people will be confused. We'll just have you at Santa Monica.
So this is 45 minutes into the movie, and we still have an hour left.
Yeah.
And it feels like, we'll get into this, but the first 45 minutes, they are interesting, but I felt like we were already an hour and 15 into the movie at this point.
Yeah.
But it's only 45.
Yeah, we're only 45. We're only 45 minutes in, and it's flown by. And I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm on a dream. I feel like I'm on a dream, and I don't want to wake up.
It does
also,
it does feel like a dream.
They're wearing clear masks and hoodies, and it's like Abel.
Oh, it's Halloween.
Yes, it's Halloween.
Yeah.
It's a Halloween. It's another Halloween classic, and they they have a thing on their face, and Jenna Ortega has one too, and it's like you don't need one, Jenna Ortega. No one knows who you are. Even if they see you, they're not gonna know. And also, Abel, I don't think you need one either because you have like the hoodie, the glasses. It's gonna be very hard to tell who you are.
Yeah.
Based on your already normal appearance, you don't need a mask.
Yeah.
But they're like, it's also funny because they're playing like the shuffleboard, like the disc jockey game, and they're just playing air hockey.
Yeah.
And they're just playing like carnival games. And I'm like, how old is all these characters supposed to be?
Yeah.
They're having fun. They're living the life.
It feels reconnecting to the real world. He's reconnecting to his inner child.
It feels very like in those movies where they're like, he's a rich guy and now he's in love with Nintendo. Yeah. He's never seen it before. It feels very like
McDonald's
that.
All week. He hasn't even touched a steak. Whereas before he's literally putting out joints on a well cooked filet mignon, nicely cooked, not well done, on a plate. Yeah. He's just like ash on a fucking.
He's really showing us. It is, and we'll talk about it in a second. I want to get to the end before I talk about my thoughts on Abel. And so then they're like, okay, that was fun. Let's go back to my hotel room. And so they're driving and they get to the hotel room. This is kind of what William was talking about. Barry, the manager, is outside like calling him like, where are you? Where are you? And so he's like, go to another hotel, whichever one, just a nice one. And we'll stay in that room because I don't want to be with my manager. I just want to be with this vulnerable runaway.
I don't want to hear
this girl who's obviously obsessed with me,
and who's clearly distressed and crying at everything I say.
I mean,
because
that's probably very common.
He does show her the song, and like, she's just bawling her eyes. I mean, she was bawling her eyes out at like blinding lights. So of course, at Hurry Up Tomorrow, she's gonna be bawling her eyes out.
Yeah.
She was bawling her eyes out to that Earned It song from the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack. So at a real song, she just completely lost it. And surprisingly, that works on Abel. Here's something that artists won't tell you. If you praise them, it's a trick to get them to love you forever. So stalk your favorites movie star. We're gonna have to cut that out. This is a pro stalking podcast over here.
Yeah. They have an intimate night. He shows her some music in the hotel. And she thinks, well, we don't really know what she thinks, but like it seems like she thinks there's going to be something more in this relationship. Like she's really excited about it.
And I will say that when Abel's in the car and every moment up to this, the way he's talking to her, which I think would also be kind of based on a real thing, is that he's like, oh, please don't leave me. Like he's even telling her, he's like, oh no, will you stay with me forever? And she's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Right. Done.
And so even when they're hooking up that night before, he literally like promises, he makes her promise to never leave him. which we're gonna find out is going to be not the smartest move. And also, he keeps going to sleep and having like nightmares about random things. There's a real cool shot where he's in a bathtub and the water's up to here. You'll probably see it because I'm gonna definitely use that image for the cover. And it's a really cool shot, but that's just how he gets scared sometimes. Sometimes he sees like a creature, and it's not really doesn't really matter. And then he goes to sleep at one point and he sees the creature, and then he wakes up and he's like, "Oh, it's the next morning. I've sobered up."
Yeah.
I've sobered up,
Yeah,
and
so
it's
let's make it clear. He does tons of drugs.
Yeah.
We don't even know what all of them
I
are.
mean-
But
I
he
mean,
is
the
just doing
whole
poppers,
movie.
pills,
Yeah.
which
Alex-
again is very able. I feel like that's a very. I mean, again, The Weeknd
Alex
is not
Vegas, our
saying
breakfast,
about having a like a full nutritious breakfast. He sings about one very
Exactly.
specific thing.
Yeah.
Potting it up. And so he wakes up, he's like, that's when reality's kind of hit him. It still hasn't hit Jenna Ortega. She's still in this like honeymoon phase where like she's like, okay, so what's next? And he's like, oh, I gotta go to Australia. That's like the next leg of the tour. And she's like, oh, I've never been to Australia. And he
That
goes,
sounds cool.
you should go.
I know. That's like that. Whenever she says that, you're like, this is gonna go one of two ways. And
Yeah.
as soon as he says you should go, it's like, maybe
And
don't
I
wear
real-
that robe anymore, Jenna Ortega. Put on some regular clothes. You look stupid.
Yeah,
Pathetic.
And I really feel for Jenna Ortega because everyone has asked the "I would love to go" question the next morning and then been rejected as the "you should go." Everyone's been told you should go once in their quest for love.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, it shows.
Yeah, and we know your name. We're gonna stalk you like she stalks The Weeknd.
Yeah.
And so then she's like, "What do you mean? You said we wanted to be together forever?" And this is where the famous scene. It's taken out of context. You Twitter haters named Josh and the other Twitter
It's a
haters,
famous scene.
because she's it went viral. It went viral on X, but it's because of a bunch of haters. So she's like, "Please, like, I go," and then she's because he tells her like her phone is nonstop ringing and she doesn't even turn off the ringer. She's just staring at it because her mom. And so he's like, "Are you gonna answer that?"
Yeah. He's so rude too.
He's so
Did I
mean
get
to her. And so she answered, and the mom's like, "Hey, did you burn down my house again? We're still talking about this. I don't know why I stopped calling."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Come on, just come home." And then Jenna Ortega's like, "I know I love you, Mom." It's like, I don't care if you love me, burn down all my shit.
Right. I think she said that's not good enough. It's like, no, it's not. It's clearly not.
How many houses do they have in Montana that they're just like, her burning down her house is the equivalent to her like taking $20 out of her purse?
Dude.
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So then she's like, all right, well, bye, Mom. And she doesn't really resolve anything. She hangs up on the mom. And then she's like, oh, she's telling The Weeknd, like, you promised that we were going to be together. And now you're lying. Like, why are you doing this? And that's when he's like, shut up. Why don't you shut up? I'm trying. And this is like my favorite part too. And this is why I think it's completely out of context. Because he goes, shut up. Shut the fuck up. We're 30 minutes in. I could say it. I'm trying to be nice. And then he goes, can't you see I'm getting phone calls? And it's like, that's not, you can answer a phone call while we're in the room still. Like, that's not, and it's like, that's why I think it's good. Cause like everyone's kind of taking it as like, this is The Weeknd trying to be sincere in his acting. But this is really the culmination of The Weeknd just being the most selfish, like party boy, fuck boy of all time.
Right.
We're like
he's confused why she doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, he's confused why she's not getting the hell out of his hotel room like every other girl.
It's almost like he's like, it's like the way you're annoyed at like a customer service thing not going your way, where he's just like, why didn't you get my eggs right?
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you just leave after I like slept with you? Come on.
Or he's just trying to be
That's the
mean for no
deal.
reason.
Be
Yeah.
nice to my eggs. He's like,
But not like the way you'd be mad at someone you care, like the way you'd be mad and just like, oh, I'm still like just kind of annoyed. You're not like mad. You're just like, what an annoying thing I have to deal with.
It's just kind of like when you have phone calls to make. People are calling right now. And then I will say, if you watch this movie, you'll never be able to say "shut the fuck up" again without hearing Abel's voice in your head, because he goes, "Shut the fuck up." I love it.
It's the most.
Shut the fuck up.
School, like,
that's what I'm gonna start telling you guys when I get it. Shut the fuck up. And so then he's like, "All right, I gotta go." And so he turns around, and Jenna Ortega grabs a bottle and smacks him over the head with it.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up, and he's like, he hears her singing.
Then he has more nightmares.
Well, no, that's what Josh continues to ruin what I'm about to introduce. Then he wakes up, Joshua Epp. Then he wakes up. He hears her singing from the bathroom, and he like goes into it. But the bathroom is actually a very long hallway. So Josh, now you can say.
Oh, she's a creature. And
he was sleeping.
Oh no, but
you're like, I'll be like, okay, Josh, what room does he walk into? He's like, okay, at the end.
Here's the thing, though. He has like a couple of these in a row.
Yeah.
But I'm almost like, this should have been more or less, because it's like the whole movie's a dream sequence. So are you like putting a hat on a hat? You know,
he has
like,
a couple of
one because he's like
he has a couple spooky ones, but I'm like, it almost should have been 30 minutes of this. You know what I mean? Like just crazy like nightmares.
It's also such a weekend movie because like, why are the only sets in this movie are concert backstage, concert on stage, hotel.
Yeah, sick hotel.
Sick ass hotel.
What he thinks a poor person's house looks like in Montana.
Yeah, which is just garbage.
One.
Yeah. But yeah, so then he goes, he sees this, and it's actually Jenna Ortega. You can tell by her voice, and also if you watch BTS. And he sees like this creature, and she starts chasing him, and he runs, and that's when he wakes up, and he's been tied up by Jenna Ortega.
Okay, and she's say that whenever they were in that tunnel and she was the monster, like
it's a good scene.
I was watching with my headphones like last night, and like that was like genuinely unsettling.
Yeah,
like I was like, fuck.
Yeah, it really does a good job, especially with like, I will say, you know, it plays a lot with the spaces, and especially because we're in such weird places where like it's a big area, but we're in a tight section of it. Like we're backstage at a concert, but we're like in between the rafters and stuff, or we're in a hotel room. We're kind of like stuck in the bathtub or stuck in the room. You know, it's like these weird things. Or like, I think it also helps that there's no one ever there, which is like, I bet you that's where that $15 million came from, is to completely shut down like 3 Los Angeles roads.
Yeah,
he's walking through the road, and they're completely empty. And so I think it really like helps you feel isolated during this whole time.
Yeah. This whole movie feels like you're like trapped, like from scene one for sure.
Yeah.
By fame and other things.
Well, and I liked it because so much of it is fame, but he doesn't do any of the stereotypes. Like he at no point does he do a magazine interview, which is kind of famous for these type of movies, or like he's never harassed by the paparazzi. Sure. Nobody even ever recognizes him thanks to his ingenious mask that shows his face underneath it.
Yeah.
And so he finally wakes up, and Jenna Ortega has like tied him up in the crucifix pose.
Right.
In the crucifix pose, guys.
Yeah.
Symbolism.
And she's like, what she's telling him is like, why she says that she'll let him go if he starts telling the truth, and then he can't lie to her anymore about like, he has to tell her what he really means, and he's like, shut the fuck up.
He's like, you're crazy. You crazy bitch.
He's like, you crazy bitch. Get me out of here.
So like,
and here's the best part of the whole movie is she's like, the thing about your songs, Abel, is that they sound like party songs, but they're actually really good.
Yeah. And I do like, that's my favorite part.
Wrote that line.
Cause she's like, okay, you're sad right now, but I'm gonna help you. And she's going through this thing. She's like, this is another scene that went viral on TikTok and X, but I feel like for a very different reason than for the Abel scene, because it's just Jenna Ortega singing. Well, first she sings Blinding Lights, which is one of his most favorite songs. She's just kind of dancing around. And then she's telling him, and it's so funny, she's like, this song, people think it's a party song because when it turns on, you feel like you're in a party. And that's your gift, Abel. But if they listen to the lyrics, she pulls a Patrick Bateman on the Weeknd song. She's like, if you listen to the lyrics, Abel, which is like, well, I've listened to the lyrics. I wrote them. She's like, if you listen to the lyrics, it's actually a sad song about how you're trying to find love and how you've lost it. Then she starts singing the song. And then, see, this part is clearly written by Abel, but this part is 1,000,000,000% written by Abel, because then she's like, let's find a song that wasn't a hit but should have been a hit. Yeah. Gasoline. And then she starts playing Gasoline, and the minute she starts playing it, you're like, which I do like, But the minute she starts playing it, you're like, I know why this isn't a hit song.
Right. Like,
we don't have to go through it. I understand why.
Yeah,
she's
much like Hurry Up Tomorrow, this is not going to hit with the mainstream.
She's like, let's watch this music video where no one appreciated the anime references you made, actually.
Yeah.
Because they were really smart.
She's like, I don't think they know, but when your head is 10% bigger than normal. It's like, everyone knows that. And so then she's like, tell me the truth. And he's like, I don't know what you want me to say. And then she gets a knock at the door. And it's Barry. It's like, hey, man, there's real acting going on in here. Can you, like, not?
This is a weird scene because it's the only scene with two actors
he decides.
that are actually good interacting with each other.
It is. And then it's also funny because, like, he comes in. He's like, well, he opens the door, which I think is a very cool scene.
Yeah.
And Jenna's like,
this is a great scene.
Jenna's like, oh, he's not here. And she's just, like, looking at him, like, through the door right there with the chain. And he's like, he's not here. And he's like, well, I tracked his phone, so he is here. And you kind of get the sense that he only started really looking for the Weeknd in the morning when he was like, last night he was like, oh, he's probably with some girl. And now he's like, now it kind of feels like he's used to this a little bit. Like, well, I got to get this girl out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's like, come on, love, let me in. And she's like, no, he's not here. And so he opens the door. He forces it open. He like kicks it. And then he like throws her. And then like she grabs a knife. And he like takes the knife away from her. He's like, don't do that. And he throws it. It's like, no,
so
man.
Chill about it. It's like, what?
No, man, you should probably watch it. And so he goes to the door. And then she like stabs him in the throat. And he dies. He's dead now.
Super close up on his face. Cool
so
shot.
then she goes up to the Weeknd. She's like, can't you just tell me the truth? Like, tell me what you want. And he's like, I can't. I don't know what you're talking about. And so then she's like, oh, by the way, I still have 10 gallons of gasoline that I set my house on fire.
My trademark move.
And I don't know
he has
how.
Been carting around with her that he didn't notice the whole movie.
Maybe when he was Mimi scene, she went to her car, which was still at the stadium concert, got it and brought it back.
I like the idea. I like the idea they're on the Ferris wheel and she just has it next to her.
I know.
Like it's really the whole way.
And so she starts crying. She's like, I gotta set you on fire. And everyone's like, we 100% agree with you, Jenna Ortega. You're doing the right thing. And so she like starts pointing everything, and then she gets on him and she's like dousing him in gasoline, and then he starts singing "Hurry Up Tomorrow" to her.
Yes.
And then
she like it.
And then she like lies down. She starts taking off his things, and then he wakes up. Or no, and then she takes off his things. She sets the room on fire still and leaves.
Oh yeah.
And then he wakes up.
Does he
and then
die?
he
Does he die after he sings this
Well, no, because he walks out of the hotel room as it's on fire. He walks down the hallway. He opens the hallway door, and he's back. He goes into his room backstage, and then he stares at himself in the mirror as it was at the beginning. So we don't know whether it was a dream, what really happened. Barry's not there, so it's not 100% confirmed it's all a dream. Because like, where would he be? He's clearly as obsessed with him as Jenna Ortega was. So he would be in that room, but he's not anymore. And then that's how it ends. And so as you could tell, there's not a lot in terms of story. But here's the thing. Well, here's what I wanted to talk about. And this is why I like this movie a lot. Because like you have like those movies, like there was that Bob Dylan movie last year where Bob Dylan like had his hand in it, or you have like the NWA famously, and they were producers, they helped build the story and stuff. And then you watch that movie. Like the Bob Dylan one is famously like it kind of like glosses over his political thing, and then with NWA like they gloss over everything. Like they gloss over the beefs, really. They gloss over the fact that Dr. Dre like beat a woman reporter one time real bad. It's all whitewashed, and it's like, why would you even want to make this movie that doesn't cover like the coolest or the most like not coolest, but the most beating a woman isn't cool, guys, but the most interesting parts of their lives and kind of what makes them more nuanced. And so you see a movie like this where I think like to me what's really good about this movie is there's a lot of movies where like Rocky's one of the best movies of all time, and the point about Rocky is like he's just a normal guy, but if he does this thing, if he goes the distance with Apollo Creed, he's going to be written into like the history books. Like he'll finally have made it. Even if he doesn't win, it's just the fact that he was there. And this movie is the complete opposite of Rocky in that Abel, he's already like at the top of the music thing, and so he's kind of like the whole time, and like Jenna Ortega kind of goes back and forth between playing like she sometimes is just a stand-in for the Weeknd, sometimes she's a stand-in for the audience, sometimes she's a stand-in for the critics, but the whole time the Weeknd's thing is he knows he's going to be remembered as the Weeknd. He's not worried about that. He knows that he's a genius musician, but he's worried about himself personally. Like the only girl that he ever loved doesn't want anything to do with him because of how he acts. All he does is party and do drugs. His manager only cares about him in terms of how much he can get him on stage, or at least that's what it feels like. Right. Even the fans, they only want the Weeknd. Nobody wants Abel. And I think that that's an interesting thing. I understand why people call it pretentious and like egomaniac, because it is that.
Point, yeah.
Yeah, it is like
voice starts to grow. Like he loses the audience in that moment. And that's
right.
Such a major moment in the film. Yeah.
Well,
and
I think, I agree.
And so I think it's. Oh, go ahead.
It's like it's so informed by his perspective. Like kind of you said, like, oh, they don't do anything audience friendly. Like have the magazine interview, like establishing, like this is your biggest concert ever. It's like no, because he personally doesn't care about that. All he cares about is how it feels before the concert, during, and like when he's spiraling. And I'm like, he's so like fixated on that point of view. It's genuine. It feels genuine.
Totally.
And I think that that's what makes it cool is that like, you know, we make movies. We've made a bunch of them right there. But there are times, and I'll tell you right now, it's in the editing booth. There are times where making a movie, you don't see the fun of it. You just see the work part of it. And it's like, sometimes work sucks. Sometimes work is overwhelming. So especially like with art, you're trying to please, like it's so specific. You're writing for yourself to please everyone in the world, or at least that's the goal, you know, like you don't want it to be, even if you're writing about your own experience, you want it to be as relatable to everyone else as possible because you want them to enjoy what you're watching. And I think that can be tough. And there's not a lot of movies that talk about that. And this movie, like, I mean, it over talks about that. It's like Abel is trying to find himself in the persona of the Weeknd.
Yeah.
And definitely. I think that's why it's so cool at the end where like what he realizes when he sings Hurry Up Tomorrow to her, because she's telling him like, tell the truth. Like, I need you to know your truth. I need you to tell me what you really mean. And he keeps searching for words. And it's not until the end where he sings Hurry Up Tomorrow that he's like, oh, it wasn't like, she wasn't looking for what I had to say. Or she wasn't like saying like, oh, I want to hear what Abel has to say because I've heard what the Weeknd has to say. She was saying the Weeknd and Abel have to say the same thing because they're the same person. So you might not think, and that's why I think, I mean, it's silly and it's very self-indulgent. But the part where she's singing the Blinding Lights and Gasoline, it's telling you like it's almost her as the Weeknd telling the audience, yes, these are party songs. Yes, I make party songs. But do you remember that I'm also making art and I have something to say with the party songs? Even though I want you to be jumping in the club, I do want you to know that the lyrics matter to me, you know?
Yeah, and I think that going on, like exactly to go right off of what you were just saying, like, so anima also means, there's the Japanese version that you were saying, but there's also, like, it's the female version of a man, like in the Jungian psychology. Right. And so it's kind of like the whole time like Abel is talking about, like, well, Abel's always talking about like his mom, like in Hurry Up Tomorrow, it's like I lost there's a void in me that happened when my dad left, and me and my mom couldn't really figure it out, and I failed her. Jenna Ortega's character the whole time has burned her mother's house down and has failed her mother and like won't talk to her and won't love her.
Right.
So it is like Barry is kind of like the life. He's drugs, he's fame, he's money, he's everything, and that's what's like. Stay here, Abel. Stay here with me. This is where you actually want to exist. Trust me. This saved us. This saved us from our shitty childhood. But then Jenna Ortega is kind of like, you know, his inner child in a way that needs to heal.
Like get back to that.
And so that's why it's like if you try and take her dialogue as like an actual character, it kind of doesn't work. But if you take it as something symbolic that's inside of him, it works a lot more. Even though it is kind of, I would say that the dialogue people maybe could have taken a few more drafts at it, but like as far as like just like what they're trying to communicate, that's I think what they were trying to do.
Yeah, you know what I have to say about any criticism of the dialogue? Shut the fuck up. And I think like that's a good thing because you even see in Jenna Ortega, you see the parallels between her and The Weeknd, and I think that's why they like even. And I think it's the thing where again, I think The Weeknd was kind of well. I'm going to use the word brave to do this, but he lets Jenna Ortega like every single scene that Jenna Ortega is, and I think it's why she sometimes comes off as weird, which works a little better for her performance, is that she's every single feeling she has is on her face. It's on her body. Like she's
100%.
so expressive. And I think the point of that was she's supposed to be that section of Abel. And so Abel's supposed to be very stoic and very kind of like emotionless. That's why he's kind of rude. That's why he's kind of mean. That's why he's
Very
kind of like a
shallow.
big baby. Yeah, big shallow. Like he's The Weeknd without any of the emotions. She's all the emotions, and then Barry his manager is like all the party stuff, all the flash. But the problem is that when you're seeing The Weeknd and you're like, is this guy gonna act? And he's acting. It's not easy. What we found out is it's not easy to play someone with no emotion.
Right.
And so I think like it was a very big challenge. I don't think he had necessarily the
it is
the
brave.
talent to do it, but I
Yeah.
appreciate that he tried.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I think that
Yeah.
like it's like I think that his presence is palpable, and he's like a very charismatic guy, so he's like watchable, but his voice, like it's so good for music, and he has
Yeah.
such like a beautiful kind of like airy voice. But it's like when he speaks, it's like there's not really a lot of like bass there.
Yeah.
So I think that's what kind of makes it seem weird too, is like his singing voice is great, but his like speaking voice doesn't, it's not as compelling as his personality in a way. And I think that's what kind of makes his performance seem kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, I
No,
also
I
think-
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
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 It's
Yeah.
also like, yeah, I feel like, especially with if you've only heard The Weeknd's music, you're not prepared for how his talking voice sounds. Kind of like Michael
Yeah.
Jackson. Like, oh, okay.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, this is how you sound.
But I also think like he's probably weirdly reserved in terms of like when he's not singing because he's probably had to be as like a
Right.
media figure. Like you almost learn to be this like kind of like less emotive person because
Yeah.
you don't want like a paparazzi snapping your like outbursts and stuff either.
And-
So
True.
And another thing,
Yeah.
he's on a constant barrage of drugs. So
That's
that could
true.
also
And-
have.
Yeah.
but I also like it's like most music like the Bob Dylan one. I can't even remember the name.
A complete
No.
unknown.
A complete
yeah,
unknown. It's like
yeah.
you got this like charismatic, really good actor to play you as like this up and comer, whereas this is just The Weeknd being The Weeknd, so it is
Yeah.
kind of like more interesting that way. You know?
Yeah.
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 And I will say to me again, that's the coolest thing about this is that like Bob Dylan got Timothy Chalamet to play Bob Dylan, and he wouldn't even take any risks about it. Where The Weeknd is literally playing himself in a movie, and he's managing to come off like a dick. He comes off terrible.
About how
Like, he comes
he's
off like a
shallow
spoiled brat.
asshole. Yeah.
And
I mean,
so
it was pretty honest.
Yeah.
It was pretty honest.
And I think like again, it's always that thing where to me you can, if you're taking chances, I'm always gonna appreciate that. And I think that's one of the things and why we want to talk about this movie. Like I'm not saying that if you watch this movie you're gonna love it or you should even like it. You might not like it. I mean, like I said, like William was saying, if you're not into it, it feels very long as you're watching it. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of the problems with some of the reviews I read and why I kind of want to do this movie is because of the fact that people aren't engaging with what the movie's trying to say. And I think that's doing a disservice, not only to yourself, but to the fact that like media literacy is in the garbage, And I think it has to do with like, you have your preconceived notions. Like I remember the Bruce Springsteen movie came out and everyone was like, well, I know what it's going to be. And like most of the people were right. And so it's like nobody walked into Hurry Up Tomorrow like, oh, I know what this movie's going to be. And then
Right.
walked out and been like, yeah, I was correct.
That was
Right.
exactly. Yeah.
So
Nailed it.
yeah.
And so I think it's like, if you're going to watch this movie, watch it, but also try to see what the filmmakers are trying to say and what they're going
Yeah.
for. And then decide based on that, not necessarily like, oh, well, I'm just going to go off of like, is this character? Because like, that's the cool thing about visual media. We don't need 100% real characters. It's not real life. You can have characters that are metaphors or characters that are siphons or parts of the main character, And so that's why we wanted to cover this to kind of show you, like, you might not like it. Look at Josh. Look at Josh's face. He
But I
hates
gave it a heart. I'm just saying.
But-
I think it would be a good double feature with Maestro. Two visionaries.
See, I think
back to
it would be a great double feature with Misery, and you can see how like a writer and how a singer view their fans separately and like the difference.
yeah.
You know, like
Leave
how
me alone.
like Steve, like Abel's, he looks at his fans and he sees a bunch of Jenna Ortegas, and Stephen King sees a bunch of Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
Interesting psyche, Mr. King. But yeah. So if you haven't checked out Hurry Up Tomorrow, which according to the box office numbers, it's a big amount of you, go check it out. Let us know what you think. Put in the comments whether you liked it. Well, put in the comments whether you would burn down your house for some tickets to go see Abel, or whether you're lame-o. And then next week, another bomb of the year. But don't worry, guys. We're gonna dissect it, and we're gonna make you realize that it's another great movie. So we'll see you next week on the Bomb Squad.